This is the Honor 7C. Alright, coming in from, well, London, this is an Honor 7C. It probably says London on it because it was launched in London. But it was launched back in May, and I'm only getting one now. But yeah, it's a decent looking smartphone that's made by Huawei, and I like Honor. I am a big fan of Honor. I have been since they came about. We've looked at a few Honors in the past, the Honor 8 and the Honor 7. I think they're up to the Honor 10 now. I didn't get the 9. That's the device on top, and we'll get to that in a minute. This box looks like it's been around everywhere. You've got a SIM card ejector tool there. You've got a European adapter, even though it says London on the front of the box. And we have a USB cable in there. Obviously the retail unit will probably have a lot more and a decent amount of paraphernalia with it, but the main event is this, the well, it's a 5.99 inch screen with a 13 megapixel camera on the back, which does 1080p, and it's got 4 gigabytes of RAM and a Snapdragon 450 inside it, and 3000 milliamp hour battery. So you might think those are not dazzling specifications, but for the price of it, they're actually pretty good. You should be able to find this for about £150, I'd like to think, which isn't bad given the look and the feel of the outside of the device. Looking around the device, we have Honor written across the bottom there, and on the top there's all kinds of grime and gunk all over the screen, but we have a front-facing camera, which is an 8 megapixel selfie camera. It's got an f-stop of 2.0. There's a little earpiece there, and you can just about see it off the side there. There's a little sensor of some description. Down this side we have the typical volume rocker and the power button. There's nothing else down there. And then across the bottom we have a external speaker, a microphone hole, an exposed screw, a micro USB connector, an exposed screw, and a 3.5mm headphone jack. On this side there is nothing save for the SIM card tray, which I suppose we'll dig into. Which has a big collection. It's a dual SIM plus a micro SD connector in there as well. On the top, nothing. Smooth, nice, unbroken. Then on the back we have that rear camera array, which is a 13 megapixel dual sensor, dual camera with an f-stop of 2.2. There's an LED flash to the side, does HDR, panorama, and the video is up to 1080p at 30 frames per second. So no 4K here, but at this price point it would be mad to expect there to be. There also appears to be a microphone hole there, a fingerprint sensor, and then the Honor branding down below. It just feels a bit boring in the back there. It feels like there should be something else there. This big space here is unused, even if there was like a barcode or something on there that you feel, but I guess less is more, eh? That's not what they say. So we'll turn it around and see if there's any juice in it. And there is. So the screen looks rather nice. I guess that's the most important thing whenever it comes to these cheaper phones, is to attract people with a gorgeous big screen, big colourful screen, and skimp on the innards possibly. And that's what we have here. We have a beautiful screen that has the EMUI interface on it. It's running Android 8.0 out of the box. And it has the Qualcomm 450 Snapdragon processor inside, so if anything, we should be seeing some pretty incredible battery life out of this, because that 3000 milliamp hour battery that it boasts should tick over quite nicely with that little processor inside. The big screen is obviously going to be the biggest draw from the battery. We'll let it do some updates and things like that. There should be either 32 or 64 gigabytes of storage inside. I'm not sure which, but it could have either. There'll be 4 gigabytes of RAM, which is pretty good for this price of phone. But it can come with a 3 gigabyte RAM variant, so I imagine the 32 has 3 and the 64 has 4. And we'll bother with this. Okay, so we do get the option of what we install, and we don't want Wish. I quite like Waze, but I'm not going to put it on. U-Switch for some reason. MyTune Radio, Ding, Avast, Snapchat, AliExpress, wow, Words with Friends 2, Turn of the Killer, Words with Friends. Okay, so we'll forget about those popular apps. Am I missing something here? Do I have to install at least one? So we're missing the install button now that I've taken away. So I'll keep Waze. Ah, we had to install at least one. Interesting. So get started. That sees us with the phone. I'm going to give the lens a wee bit of a wipe. And the screen, because I guarantee this has just come off of the floor on a tech expo or something. Right, so we have Google sliding in from the side. And we have a bunch of apps here. There is no app drawer, as Huawei don't particularly like one, but we do have the option to turn it on if we need to. So all the apps are dumped into folders and on the desktop. Cluttered and messy mayhem that it is. I prefer my app drawer. Right, so we have App Gallery, which is Huawei's own sort of app collection. See the sensor flickering there on the camera. The phone manager, themes and music, a video player, clock, calendar, settings, a file manager, a notepad, an email client, Honor. That's probably news and updates about the whole Honor program, depending on where we are. So we'll go to Europe, and as we are still part of Europe, and where you can buy Honor things. Oh, pants. So that is essentially a shortcut to the Honor store, where you can buy all the latest Honor products. Oh, there we go. Honor 7C is £170 from Honor directly, which I'm pretty sure I've seen it cheaper. And there's a tips section to keep you informed of how to use your phone. Under tools, we have weather and calculator and sound recorder and FM radio and torch, a mirror so we can style our hair, the game suite, the health suite, compass, backup, phone clone, download manager, and SIM toolkits for both of the dual, or for the dual SIM thing. We have Facebook as standard, so you get to choose what you install, but there's already stuff already there. eBay, Booking, Facebook, Instagram, and Netflix. Do you want to uninstall Facebook? It uninstalled. Terrific. Right. We'll keep the rest. Games. There's some games already installed from Gameloft. Must be probably demos of some description, or they're free variants. And there's more. No recommended apps, so you get recommended apps down the bottom there. Waze is there too, which we volunteered to install, whether we liked it or not. And then we have the whole Google suite as well. So we're going to have a wee play around with the camera, because Honor are notoriously good at making cameras. Okay, so things kind of look a wee bit gritty on the screen. But I'll make sure that we're in full auto mode, and we'll keep it as a slow non-wide aperture and keep beauty off, and we'll just snap a couple of pictures. There's Mr. Williams over there. So it's a good loud click, I'll give it that. But there was a bit of a delay whenever it went to take the picture of Mr. Williams. So having a look at the pictures, they're pretty good. No noticeable blurring around some of the finer details, and the finer details are showing up quite well. This Aston has a lot of detail to it because it's rusty and dusty, and it did a good job. And then the keyboard, we usually get a bit of blurring whenever it comes to trying to read these softer fonts here, and they're not bad. I've seen worse. That K is particularly bad, but over at the edges, yeah, it does get a wee bit double visiony. You can see the D there. There's almost two written together. Yeah, the H as well. The stroke across the H. There's two. So yeah, the camera's not bad. Those were just off the hip automatic shots, and they're okay. They're presentable, I guess. Could do a lot worse. We've got the Play Store there. The phone and things like that. So we need to go away and review this, and we're going to do that. We're going to use it as the main driver for a couple of weeks, and then we'll stick a written review up on Tech Addicts. If you have any questions or would like me to look at anything in particular, let me know in the comments box down below. Hit that subscribe button and give us a wee thumbs up if you fancy, and other than that, take care.